Hi dear friends, we were discussing Mohanlal's manners and etiquettes while speaking with Britishers especially. Now train has arrived on the station and he has to enter into the first class compartment, and he was imagining that some British officers should be there because it was a cantonment. His general habit to impress the people is to go silently without aggressiveness and with calmness in the compartment, hold the seat and open the paper, that is the Times of India, and hold in such a way that other people should see the title and get impressed that he is a well educated and highly qualified person. So in this way he tries to impress other people. The Times always attracted attention. Someone would like to borrow it when he would put it aside with a gesture signifying, I have finished with it. Suppose another person brought the particular paper and put aside, he glanced, Mohanlal glanced at the paper and that person like, I have finished with it. Perhaps someone would recognize his burial tie, which he always wore while traveling. That would open a vista leading to the fairyland of Oxford colleges. Masters, dawns, tours, boat races, and rugger matches. If the person is there with him in during the travel and who identified that burial tie, the burial tie which is basically related to the Oxford students. Then both of them try to discuss on Oxford atmosphere and what they have done during the period at Oxford University. Their masters, dons, tutors, boat races, and rugger matches were the topics of their discussion. If both the Times and the tie failed, Sir Mohanlal would koi hai his bearer to get the scotch out. His beer is always with him, with that scotch, and do other things also. If both the tricks, Times of India and Belial tie, failed, he announced that beer koi hai. The beer used to come there and give him a scotch, whiskey. Whiskey never failed with Englishmen. English people like whiskey too much. Then followed Sir Mohan's handsome gold cigarette case filled with English cigarettes. With whiskey, cigarette is there. He has English cigarette case with English cigarettes also. English cigars in India? Astonishing and surprising question definitely will be asked by another person. How on earth did he get them? Sure, he didn't mind, and Sir Mohan's understanding smile. He just smiled and tried to tell that person that I am also a rich person, follow the patterns of Britishers. Of course, he didn't. But could he use the Englishman as a medium of commune with his dear old English? Those 5 years of grey bags and gowns, of sports blazers and mixed doubles, of dinners at the inns of the court and nights with Piccadilly prostitutes. So all these experiences he used to share with the person who identified this burial tie and whiskey and others. So the mahol, that is the scene which is created by Sir Mohan Lal, is definitely a marvelous one. So that other person used to make himself free in the conversation. So 5 years of a crowded, glorious life in Oxford, worth far more than the 45 in India with its dirty, vulgar countrymen, with sordid details of the road to success, and with obvious old Lakshmi, smelling of sweet and raw onion. He is not only praising British life but also degrading Indian culture and Indian uh, crowded life, vulgar, dirty countrymen, along with his own wife Lakshmi, which is which smelling of sweet and raw onions. So all these opinions he has in his mind, but he is always eager to discuss on British manners, British customs, British traditions, British almost each and everything of British people. Sir Mohan's thoughts were disturbed by the bearer announcing the installation of Sahib's luggage in the first class coupe next to the engine. First class generally, first class compartment is generally attached or adjourned with the engine. So his thoughts, all these thoughts were going on in his mind at a waiting room of railway station. But these thoughts were disturbed by the bearer announcing the installation of Sahib's luggage. Bearer came there and he announced that you have to go there now at the first class compartment. Two-seater cabin is there next to the engine. Sir Mohan walked to his coupe with a studied gait. In a very lavish manner, Mohan walked to his coupe. Coupe means compartment or cabin, two-seater cabin. He was dismayed. The compartment was empty. He was disappointed while seeing that nobody is there in the compartment. With a sigh, he sat down in a corner and opened a copy of the Times of India he had read several times before. He had read it several times before. He even did not take effort to take new newspaper. The same newspaper he had read many times. So he sat down in the corner and opened the copy of the Times. One of the soldiers came up to the last compartment and stuck his face through the window. One of the soldiers came up to the last compartment and stuck his face to the window. He surveyed the compartment and noticed the unoccupied berth. A soldier, that is the place is a military camp, and that's why there are always soldiers used to check the compartments. Some used to travel also. So one soldier came there, investigated all the compartment, surveyed the compartment, and noticed the unoccupied berth. He shouted, Bill, one here." His companion came up. With his shouting, his another companion came up also looked in and looked at Sir Mohanlal. Get the nigger out, he muttered to his companion. Get the nigger out. Nigger is a very vulgar word which is used by Britishers for Indian people or Asian people. Get the nigger out means we have to throw the person out from this compartment. They opened the door and turned the half smiling, half protesting Sir Mohan. Half smiling and half protesting. What are the situation on the face of Mohanlal? Half smiling and half protesting. Reserved? Yelled Bill. Bill asked him, Mohanlal. Janta, reserved army. Fauj, exclaimed Jim, pointing to khaki shirt. Actually, the compartment was reserved for military people. Janta means common people, is not allowed there. Reserved army, Fauj, and Jim pointed the khaki shirt he weared. Ekdam jao, get out, they said. I say, surely, protested Sir Mohan in his Oxford accent. Mohanlal tried to protest and tried to say something, but both the soldiers are not ready to hear him. The soldiers paused, it almost sounded like English, but they knew better than to trust their inebriated ears. The engine whistled and the guard waved his green flag. Soldiers paused. It almost sounded like English, but they knew better than to trust their inebriated ears. Inebriated means drunken ears. The engine whistled and the guard waved his green flag. Guard also waved his green flag. But there is a quarrel between Mohanlal and these two soldiers. What will happen? We will see in my next video. Till then, thank you.